It's time. It's time to go live. I forgot to turn on my banners. Well, hi everybody. It's also I gotta just fix this little window over here. So I'm flying solo tonight. Bobby couldn't make it, so it's just gonna be me. And but I wanted to get back to doing some Pac-Man World 2. And I just wanted to start off by saying that, I, I s- you know, I really sort of, I wasn't 100% sure if I was doing the right thing by switching the format of this from, live stream to podcast, right? So, and so I felt like, well, why can't I do both? No, right? So let's do both, guys. And I want to get back into talking about Pac-Man World 2. It is a soundtrack that makes me eternally happy every time I hear it. And you guys enjoy talking about it. And so let's do that. Yeah. Well, I was thinking that maybe like we're aiming for about an hour for each one of these episodes, an hour to an hour and a half. So I was thinking maybe the first 30 minutes we could just talk about Pac-Man World 2. And it's it's interesting because when I was talking to Bobby about it, he was like, "Yeah, but I mean, how long can you really talk about Pac-Man World 2?" And I said, "Forever." I can always talk about, right? Will you guys ever? I'll tell you what. We'll make a deal right now. If you guys ever get sick and tired of hearing about Pac-Man World 2, you just let me know, and we'll move on to a different soundtrack or something like that. So yeah, that's it, man. So let's jump right in. I will do my best. I don't have a co-pilot, right? Hey, FP just subscribed. Thank you, FP. Let's give him a Brahm. Here you go. Here's your Brahm. This is loud. Just warning. That's your prize for subscribing. Thank you. I appreciate that. And welcome, FP. And welcome, Nick. Yes, I saw the E3 demo. Not only that, I have a picture of me at the E3 demo playing it. So, which I showed once briefly, but maybe I can show you again if you want to see it, actually. Anyway, hello, Spin. Hello, Nick. I will do my best, by the way, to stay connected on the chat, but I'm flying solo, so it might be a little bit hard. And, I guess I just also wanted to say that I think, last week when I played some of my music, the music I made just for the sake of making music, it made me really happy. I was really happy. I was happy to share it. And yeah, I feel like I should be talking about my music. No, I think that's a better thing overall. The other thing I want to do on this stream, I want to try to make useful content. So I want to try to make some content where, oh yeah, right, I remember, because YouTube Shorts, that's why they didn't want the banner, right? I remember why I turned them off in the first place. Woody, who's helping me with the editing, video editing, said, I don't want that thing sticking there on the shorts. I'm like, okay. Actually, you know what we maybe should do? I wonder if we should just move it over. That's also a thought, no? Anyway, so hi, Jasmine. Look at my haircut, So I got my haircut. I mean, I cut my hair, I should say. So I want to try to release like some helpful content, especially for aspiring composers. Like I have an interesting thing that we could even look at it tonight. How to arrange for strings, for example, and I'll show like beginner level strings, intermediate level strings, and then advanced arranging for strings. It's from a webinar series I did some years back, and I feel like I should just put this content out. And so we'll do some of that as well. So without further ado, though, we really neglected the Haunted Boardwalk. We neglected Ghost Island as a whole. Oh, right. And let me, I'm just going to quickly go over here and see if that opened or not. Oh, okay. It's trying to open. You know, some of the sounds that, by the way, specifically Ghost Island is not completed, by the way. So, oops, let's go over here. Meaning that I got it mostly working, but I didn't actually finish it. It's still technically unfinished. Here, I'll show you guys. Let's go to the, and if you want to see, do you guys want to see the picture from E3, the mysterious E3 demo? You want to know what else? I don't know, but I don't know how I would even look at these, but I have all the builds. I have every single dev burn that was sent to me from Namco. I'll show them to you. Oh no, they're packed. They're packed because I'm moving. Oh, damn it. Remind me another time and I will, I'll show them to you because they're like really cool. Handwritten and, you know, build numbers and you name it. Okay, this is not working. So now I've tried 2 times. So what am I trying to do right now? I'm trying to use my Mac OS 9 emulator. And the reason I'm doing that is I need to go back into history because I have a snare sound that I'm not really sure if it's the right snare sound. But you know what? I'll just go with it for now. It's fine. And do you know what? The Miroslav Orchestra was made a plugin. So it was purchased by IK Multimedia, and they made it a plugin, and it's called Philharmonic, is what they call the name of the plugin. But it literally has that original Pac-Man violin from the Haunted Boardwalk. There's so many things we have to go over here. All right, let's do this. Yeah, so Haunted Boardwalk, it's not 100% completed. Nightcrawler is, and Ghost Bayou is also not 100% completed, nor is the boss, the Spooky. So there's a whole lot of work to do, and I guess we'll just jump into it. Let's start by showing you guys. I'll just show you. So here, whenever I finish a track, what I do here is I mark it with a yellow dot because isn't that apropos for Pac-Man, right? Put a yellow dot. So then if it's got red and yellow means like basically it sounds like mostly how it sounded back in the day, but it's not 100% finished. So, and it also doesn't have the contact libraries with the beautiful artwork I made and all that good stuff. So, yeah, well, so Spin, let's just jump right in and I'll show you, right? So this is it. This is the Miroslav plugin. Again, it's from a company called IK Multimedia. I think they sell it for like $25 or something like that. The library that back in the day cost like $3,000-4,000, they're selling for $25 now. So anyway, it's such a blast and takes me back when I hear this violin. I mean, considering the year, right? Yeah. And by the way, yes, to answer a few questions that were being asked, and thank you, Jasmine. Thank you for liking the haircut. Yeah, all the final masters were all made in the year 2001. And then some were done in early 2002. I remember, hey, Kiwi, I'm so happy you're here, man. I'm so happy you're here, by the way. I'm glad you made it, Kiwi, because I know you weren't 100% sure, but welcome. Anyway, I mean, you weren't 100% sure if you were going to make it tonight, so I'm glad you're here. Very glad you're here. So, right. And it's true. The story that was being discussed on my private server, let me read the comments for everybody. Yeah, the game got delayed from 2001 to early 2002. And programmer Gil Colgate explained why, and presumably the music was mostly finished. It's true. And later revised, yes, literally 3 days before the Golden Master. Gold Master is when it's the final DVD-ROM that then gets duplicated into all the Pac-Man, discs that you load into your PlayStation 2. That is true. That is a true story. We literally were doing things, and it was like feverishly working on that deadline. It was really intense. It was very heavy. It was very intense. All right. So Spin, you mentioned you might want to help. I'm not sure how, but I suppose we could start by just maybe going through and, like we've done before, kind of go through each instrument and then, see what's what. But first, how about we just play it a little bit from the beginning, and maybe we'll just play like the first minute-ish or a minute and a half sort of. And I'll just play for you guys where am I as of now. Here we go. Basically where I am right now. As far as Ice River Run and misremembering, you have to remember something, guys. Like, first of all, I'm 56 years old. My memory is not what it once was. I have done my best to, recreate, from 20. I guess 25 years ago. Yeah. So maybe I misremembered and maybe I misspoke. Who knows? Oh, by the way, I'm wearing the shirt, right? Just to remind the world. So yeah, it's possible that I misremembered. That's absolutely a possibility. Probably more than likely. Do you guys want to see the photo from the mysterious E3? By the way, I've collected a bunch of these pictures, and let's see here. Let me just pull this up. Yeah, with my stupid dreadlocks. My God. All right, here it is, guys. There we go. So yeah, this is the E3 2001 Pac-Man World 2 demo. And this was like, you can't imagine how happy I was about this. I know we looked at this before, but since you guys mentioned it tonight, there it is. These are all the photos from that. The 2001 E3. It was pretty damn epic, I gotta say. Took a picture of just the booth. They had this Namco museum thing as well. That's me with Glenn Kierton, by the way. He was the producer of Pac-Man World 2. And then, I found this. This is another fun one. So this is my studio from way back in the day. And I had this big cardboard cutout that Namco actually sent me. And I put it up on the wall. Let me just quickly see if I can find the whole photo of the entire studio, because then you can also have a little bit of context. Let's just see here. Oh yeah, I built all these. It's pretty insane, actually, what I did. All right, I think I found what I'm looking for. Let's see here. It's so funny. You can also see. All right, I'll show you these. These are kind of funny. Well, not really funny, but first of all, where are the? There it is. Okay, I found it. All right, so I'll show you like the full version of the photo. So let me take that, and I will. Oops, pop it over here. Let's see now. E3 Pac-Man. There we go. Okay, so I found that one, and then the other one I wanted to show you that I think it's kind of funny actually. Is it this one? Yeah, it is. Awesome. This is awesome. So it's not awesome, but it's just really funny. I think it's hilarious actually. But all right, let's do this. Sorry guys. I mean, I'm not sorry actually. I'm just being polite because Canadians, you know how we are. We always say sorry, even when we don't have a reason to be sorry. All right, here, let's go back to this. And so, yeah, this was this cardboard cutout that they sent me that I had up in the studio. What I wanted to show you that I thought was kind of fun was the full version. So this is what it would have looked like on the floor. And then the funny bit, I suppose, is I'll show you the studio. This is just a test, but it shows you on a typical day how messy. Look at that. You got the cans of Pepsi. There's some drumsticks, some hard drives, a empty can of orange juice, diet Dr. Pepper, some hard drives or some other things connected, a bunch of crap all over the floor. So this was like on a real day, you know, the printer was out. I was printing off whatever I was printing off. And then of course, you know, there's the really nice clean version. So yeah, I did this thing here where I'm sort of building out. This is for my website, by the way. Yeah, I have all these places where I had my studio. Yeah, this is another just kind of a test run of that studio in Toronto. And these are some other test runs. And I forgot actually the final, which one I went with, but these are all, you know, pretty decent versions. The overhead though, where's the overhead? That one. Oh, I think it's this one here. Yeah, overhead. Yeah, that one's also nice. Notice the Millennium Falcon, right? So, all right, let's get back into the music though. And I'm going to try and stay up on the chat. Yes, that's right. Being a composer, it's not often a clean job. But the good thing is when I stream, I kind of have to keep it clean. No, I have to keep things clean and, you know, keep everything in order, you know, because I don't want to show the world what a slob I am. You know, I have what I call organized chaos. That's how I like to think of it. You know how you make piles, right? It's sort of like I can't think of this now, so I'm going to throw it here. Yeah. All right. And I can't speak to the CG renders, art renders. Fun fact, some World 1 burns, character promotional art was just archived in high quality. You want to know what, guys? Like, it's really quite beautiful that we are part of this incredible community of people that really care about these games, you know? Like releasing Pac-Man into the wild. That was like me sort of contributing, no? It's beautiful that people, you know, that somebody redid all the cutscene from Tales of Destiny. Completely redid every single frame in all of that. And it looks beautiful. They did it in 2160, like 4K, you know? It's great. Yes, I do. I have old Pac-Man World 2 ROMs, and I might even know which box. I'll tell you what, if you'll excuse me for 1 second, maybe I could go and see if it's there, if it's the one I think it's in. Anyway, let's see. Okay. All right, let me go. I'll have a quick little, I'll just check this one box. And I think you guys can still hear me. No, it's not going to be in that one or that one. And it could be in that one, but I don't know. Hey, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong, kitty cat? All right, I'll tell you what. I will, rather than try and dig things apart, I'll see if I can get them for the next stream. Maybe I'll take some photos or something. But it's like all in a nice little CD binder kind of thing. Yeah, the world too. I love the cat meow. Of course, you gotta love the cat meow. She's wanting some attention, but mommy's home, so you know, mommy can give her some attention. Anyway, you know, going back to this the haunted boardwalk, you know, I was really like struck by how I think about drums and how I put drums together. It was really, really interesting. So if we listen to the core rhythm, like, that is such a crazy on its own. And then of course we have the thumpkin. And then when it goes to the chorus, for lack of a better term, there's a nice cymbal swell, and then we get this breakbeat. And I realized that I really have a very, very, very different approach to rhythm than, I don't know. It's just really, it's different. It's different. All right. So I don't know. Where are we here? Do you guys have specific questions? Spin, let's go through and we'll figure everything out. I'm also going to assign everything to the contact library that I built. And so let's also do that. We'll get everything assigned as it should be. So of course, in this contact library, we go to the Orb Soundworks custom library. We go to AAA game libraries. We go to Pac-Man World 2. We go to, in this case, brass. We go to trombone. By the way, what you're seeing here, asset management, this is what it's all about in game development. You have to be organized and find things in seconds. Just, you know, little tip for anybody curious. So there we go. So then what we'll do is we'll duplicate the trombones from here and we'll listen, of course. Perfect. The same. My only slight concern, couple things. Number one, we want to make sure the velocity sensitivity is actually on. So we're going to, usually I set it to about 70. We want to just increase that release just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. And then of course we'll go in and we'll save all that and overwrite the old one. And there we go. All right, cool. So we've got that, and then what we can do, we can move away. First we'll put a mute on there, and we'll just. I move these down. I don't actually delete them from the project because you never know. Sometimes you need to go back, right? Okay, so all right, so Spin, I hope this is, yep, that is exactly correct. It is the Miroslav trombones double forte looped. That was basically the trombones I pretty much used on everything. All right, so then we've got this, now this is Violin Shorts SV. SV, I'm sure you already know this, Spin, but just in case you didn't know this, is for smart violins, which is a library that was done by, who was it done by now? Oh, you should know this. It was either, I think it was Sidliacek. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Peter Sidliacek. So if I'm not mistaken. But so let's do this. Let's just go ahead and we'll try to find. Also, let's turn off the search filter. We'll turn that off. And then let's just go ahead and we'll see if we can find what am I looking for here? Right. Strings. So these are the SV short right over here. We got them. Okay, so let's then copy this over and have a listen. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm opening up the envelopes there in the sampler just so that we hear the full attack. So I was correct. So spin, you see, I literally couldn't think of it off the top of my head, and I knew that you would know. I think spin knows more. Yeah, more about the sounds I use than even I know. So, all right, so let's look for the SV. There they are, shorts. We're going to check the envelope is, oh, yeah, it's opened all the way. Actually, that's what we want. We also want to make sure that the, where are we here? Is it the group editor I'm looking for? Where is it? Mapping editor? What am I looking for here? I'm looking for, oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. So yeah, we want to make sure that our velocity is set always to 70%. This basically is about the sensitivity of the original sampler I was using back in the day, which would have been Sample Cell 2 or the Kurzweil K2500, depending. So we're just making sure that this is all set correctly. So there we go. And then of course, we'll just do the same thing here. Have a listen. It's exactly the same when I go back and forth. All right, cool. So same thing here. We're just going to go ahead and we'll put a mute on both of these. We'll take this and we'll just drag it out all the way down here to the bottom and mute it. All right. And you know, we're getting to your favorite part, by the way. Hey, how's it going, Yoshi? We're going to get to the accordions. The mystery accordions. I don't know. Did we solve it? I can't remember. My memory is really not what it once was. Okay, so for the celeste, I was using the X sample celeste. So let's do the same thing here. We'll just go ahead and we'll try to find the contact, the version I created. Yeah, the Akai library, though, is quite big. Yeah, it's specifically the X sample for Akai. And actually, originally, I'm pretty sure about this. Yeah, originally I had it on Akai, and then I think I acquired a version for Giga Studio, and the actual translation, in other words, what I translated to get this glockenspiel does not in fact come from the Akai. I don't have the original Akai anymore. I only have the Giga Studio version, but that's fine. It's not a big deal, man. It's really not a big deal. All right, so let's go to mallets, and there it is, the celeste, right? And it's this one over here, and let's do the same thing. We'll go ahead and we'll copy all this stuff and make a copy and play. and forth. So this is a little brighter, a little louder, I should say. So maybe we'll turn this up a little. It's definitely louder. What happened now? Uh-oh. That's no good. We got a crash. Dear me. Maybe I have to upgrade my version of Contact. Could be. I don't know if you guys heard the news or not, but Native Instruments has now been acquired by In Music. Right, we talked. See, how bad is my memory, you guys? I'm not joking. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, now we have a match. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and mute the sample cell, or the, sorry, it's not sample cell, the Logic sampler. And we'll just keep the Contact version of that celeste. Next thing we'll do is we'll go to the Glockenspiel and, oops. Oh, again. Oh, this is not good, guys. Yeah. You see, Logic never crashes, and it's such a beautiful system they made, because when a third-party plugin crashes, as we're seeing here, by the way, Logic is just like, yeah, that's okay with me. It's a different piece of software. I'll just refresh myself and we'll get back to work. Does that sound good? It's like, yeah, that sounds good. So let's try again, shall we? But yeah, there clearly is something going on. All right, regardless, let's go over here and we'll go to percussion. We'll go to, now why don't I have the mallets? Wait, where are we here? AAA game libraries, Pac-Man World 2, percussion, mallets. There we go, Glockenspiel. All right, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and, oh, look at that. I didn't even listen to it against the original. I'm sure it's fine. Oh yeah, this part. I love this part. That's super fun. And I just realized something. We haven't even touched the strings. We didn't even look at the strings. Dear me. Yeah, the music box, it's called a celeste, by the way. That's the name of this instrument. It is a really cool part, I gotta say. It's a great part. I love it. Oh, sorry. Yes, please tell me if you're not seeing my screen. My bad. Anyway. Okay, so enough of that. Yeah, I don't think we dealt with all the strings. And we should, no? So we did the violin short. Right. So let's go ahead to the pizzicato. What I might do here, in fact, again. Wow. And the thing is, for sure, it's something in my library, in my Pac-Man library, that's causing this. Because I can tell you, with my hand to everything I hold dear, this has never happened. Like, ever. The Contact crashing inside of Logic might happen to me once every 2 or 3 months. Like, Logic and Contact 8, the version I'm using, are so stable. This is clearly something going on in the library itself. Something that's loaded. Anyway, I'm just going to make a bunch of instances here, and then we can just kind of go through and assign everything. So let's go ahead here, and we'll go to AAA game libraries, Pac-Man World 2. we'll go to strings, section, and pizzicato. And there were like 2 different ones I was using. Let's see which one I was using here. This is strings pizzicato ins. INS means instrument, just in case you're wondering. So, okay, so where is it? There it is, right there. All right, good. So now what we can do is, again, we'll make a copy here and go back and forth. Okay, so very different. Like a lot louder. There's also reverb. Ah, here's why. So this was not at unity gain. Let's also go check the vitals here. Let's check. Okay, see the velocity here is all wrong. That's also why it's not playing as loud as it should. And finally, let's remove any of this stuff we don't need. And the release looks fine, in fact. So let's go ahead and we'll save this. Oh, right. And I got to make sure to replace the other version. Right. That's a big thing, actually. Okay. So we'll close that up and listen again. Let's also add some of that reverb on, shall we? Okay, we'll just over here just to show you what am I doing here. So I'm going onto the auxiliary sends, and then I'm going to send some of the reverb. You can't really see what my arms are doing here. So anyway, these are my auxiliary sends, and I'm just adding that reverb. And then we'll go back here and listen. Still seems quite a bit louder. Oh, look. Because the volume somehow got jacked up. I don't know how that happened. Now this is in fact a little bit louder. Anyway, it's a part that only appears briefly, so I'm actually quite all right if it's a little bit louder for that moment there. All right, so we got the pizzicato. And we did the violin solo. That's done. Let's maybe put that right up there at the top. We have the short violins are done. Let's label this correctly. This is our pizzicato. I always have to pronounce pizzicato correctly because I live in Italy, and that's how you pronounce it in Italy, pizzicato. And in America, we say pizzicato, and they just laugh at us. Like, really, they laugh at us. Yeah. So, not in a mean way, but like in a cute way, you know? All right. So, full strings, that should be easy enough. Let's just remove that out of there. Also, let me check up on the chat here. Okay, we can't see your screen. Good to know. Very Danny Elfman feeling. Yeah, well, Danny Elfman, you know, he put his prints on everything of that era, right? Massive influence on a whole generation of composers. The main, thank you, Spin. The main, yeah, that is, yeah, probably because of the way the original sample was in my sampler versus how they set it up in the, I did feel like it sounded high, but I wasn't sure. So thank you, Spin. Thank you very much for that. Reminds me of Kingdom of Super Mario Odyssey. I didn't play Super Mario Odyssey. I have it though. And I got it for the Wii. So it's on my list. So I don't remember which pizzicato it is. It is probably, yes, actually, it probably is the sample cell from the original sample cell library. Yeah, especially if it's named that way. And I can verify also. Remember, I found the original, so we kind of have that to measure against. So let's go and we'll just double check on the original. Let's just go over here to samples 5 and we'll go to disabled legacy, sample cell ROMs, sample cell 2 disk 1 instruments, strings and string, and there it is. Yeah, I probably added, now it's interesting, string pizzicato. Oh, look at that. I think this is, again, giving us a problem here. Why is this giving us a problem? Okay. Yes, 100%. I always added INS so that I knew I was dealing with an instrument. But it even has the singular string pizzicato and same casing and everything. So yeah, 100% from the sample cell library. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and actually look at that. Somehow it got plus 12. It got put up by a full octave. I don't know how that happened, honestly. And the other thing, I brought the original track in, so we can always listen to that. You know what, though? I kind of like how it sounds up the octave. I got to be honest. Oops, what did I just do? I kind of like it. But of course, I can't go back and change history. This is as close to a time machine as we'll ever get. All right. All right, cool. Thank you, by the way. That's a great save from Spin. Thank you very much, Spin. All right, so let's just go to the full strings. This should be easy enough to find. Go over here to strings, and it's always going to be this 0, 1 strings full. Again, we're just going to double check that our velocity, which is not set correctly, is set correctly. And we're going to also just look at the release time, which is a little, it should be, yeah, 350-ish. That's about right. And we'll go ahead and we'll save this as well. All righty. Cool. So that's done. And again, we're just going to, damn it. Right. Okay. We can do that. So let's put that up there, and then we'll just go back and forth and compare. Well, look, in the end, I wrote it in octaves. So either way, we're going to hear it in that octave. So it's, yeah. So it is correct. That's the point. So let's see, where are we here? Right. So that's the contact version. Again, yeah, it's something in the library, guys. It's definitely something in the library that's doing this. Wow. Yeah, every time I switch out of contact over to the Logic sampler, it crashes. So weird. Yeah, man. Spin is working overtime, man. He is working overtime. So, yes, a human can play that, no problem. Not for sale music. It's definitely in the absolute upper ranges of the instrument, but yes, it is playable. Yeah, I mean, you would have to be a virtuoso violinist to be able to play that high and that in tune, but yeah, 100% playable. Yes. Now, to be fair, do I know 100% with certainty that, that note up an octave? Yeah, C6. Yeah, I'm willing to bet a large sum of money that yes, and we can. You know what? Look, I was having a conversation with a colleague, and we were just, I guess, talking about accuracy, right? So I think what I'd like to do, because what I don't want to do is give any kind of incorrect But I'm fairly certain that yes, a violinist can definitely hit that note. But what I'm going to do to be really sure, oh gosh, where is this? I don't use this book often, but because I don't want to say something that's not true. But I am fairly certain, and I'll tell you what. I will, if I'm wrong about this fact, I will. Let me just do a quick search though, because I mean, why not? Let's look for the Adler book. So the Adler orchestration book is one of the most important. Let's see, where are we here? Books. All right, books, music, easy enough. So this is a standard textbook that I had to buy and study at Berkeley. Any music education institution, you're going to basically be told to read this book. So this is the where are we here? Music theory, Samuel Adler. There we go. So yeah, this is like a standard textbook that, basically every student has to like read and learn. So let's just go ahead real quick here. And the bowed string instruments, all right. Do we have coloristic effects? Tuning, double stops, vibrato, the bowing. What about ranges? That would be nice, no? Pluck strings, scoring for strings. There is a whole chart in here about ranges. Oh, damn, you know what? I actually have I have this sheet that I hand out, which talks about it. All right, let's just see if we can go and quick reference, ranges most frequently used orchestral. All right, let's go to page 615 and we'll get the answer. This is the definitive book. This is 100%, you can bank on this book, okay? Like this is not speculative. It's not asking, Google Gemini. This is like the law here, okay? Now, where are we here? 601. All right, these pages and those pages don't really match, but that's okay. That's totally fine. Next couple pages. There we go, appendix. Okay. So yeah. More than comfortable in that range. Yeah, we should so there it is. Yeah, I mean, it can go even higher. So yeah, I stand by my original argument. Regardless, yes, it's playable by a human. But let's keep it where it's supposed to be, where it originally was done. And I guess, look, here's the other thing that you can also kind of bank on. These sample libraries, they would not while it was possible to stretch things beyond the range of the original sample, they wouldn't be sampling things that were beyond the range of the instrument, especially the modern libraries. Never, regardless. Absolutely. So, but let's go on. And hey, Pika, how's it going? Is that Mr. Ko I'm speaking to? I think it is. Is that you, Mr. Ko? Yeah, it's I am yes, public enemy, but I don't want to kind of go there, and I don't want to get into that whole thing about being public enemy number one of music theory. But regardless, I have well, we'll discuss that later. But things, yeah, a lot of things, I'm a very impulsive person, and I react on impulse. I do things on impulse. And I've learned a few things in the last few days, or actually since yesterday, I suppose. So I sort of have a different feeling about a lot of things, specifically, but I'm not going to talk about them because I don't really want to talk about them. But, it was brought to my attention that, you know, somebody watching my channel could get incorrect information. And I guess that's why I'm sort of I'll try to do more disclaimers, because I'm not, look, you know, to graduate from Berklee College of Music magna cum laude is not easy, and you have to know your theory. You can't not know theory, and you have to know it well. But after Berklee, like, I felt that it polluted my sort of natural composing ability. So I spent a lot of time trying to forget it all. And so I wouldn't describe myself as like a expert in music theory. But I know my theory. And so sometimes I just, especially if I'm sort of on a track, I can be a little bit dismissive, and like I was just about to be like, yeah, I can play in that range. But, I checked the Adler book, and because I don't want to give any misinformation, by the way. So I'm trying to, I guess, be a little more accountable to people who might be watching the stream, because, yeah, it was brought to my attention, and in a wonderful way, actually, a way I really appreciate, and is very helpful to me. So yeah, I'm going to try now to make sure that I'll fact check certain things. Now, let's do a second fact check on the range. And what we'll do, this you can take to the bank, probably even more than the Adler book. I'll tell you why in a minute. So I'm going to show you the Stradivari library. This was recorded in, I believe, in Cremona here in Italy. They literally got the police to stop the traffic around the recording studio where they were recording this real Stradivari violin. And so if you don't know, Stradivari was, he's known as Stradivarius, but his name was just Stradivari. Back in those times, it was like Christopher Colombo, for example. That was his name, Colombo, not Columbus. But they sort of tacked on that the US on the end of it. It was very fashionable. So Colombo was Columbus, Stradivari was Stradivarius. Anyway, he's the most famous violin maker of all time. And why am I going to say you can take this to the bank? Because, yeah, they literally stopped traffic, okay? They stopped traffic in order to be able to record this instrument. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Stradivari violin, and let's load it up. And let's see here. Yeah. So, in fact, it can play above. So we can go a perfect fourth above the highest note that I wrote, right? So yes, indeed, it is absolutely playable. We have two sources verifying. So yeah, so my highest note is a C6, and this Stradivari violin can hit an F6. So yes, so I wrote this as that's the highest note I wrote. Well, the highest note I wrote was that, but when we put it up an octave, it became that. And this Stradivari violin can go a fourth above that. So two sources, I can really 100% tell you that, yes, it is playable. And I really, yeah, I am very grateful this amazing thing that happened yesterday. It's a really amazing thing that happened, and I'm really grateful for it. So yeah, there we go. We have fact-checked two sources here, and both sources tell us that, yes, it's playable. And I'm really going to try and hold myself to a higher standard and not be dismissive when somebody says something like, is that even playable? Because it's a great question, right? And the reason it's a great question is that it sounds completely fake when we hear it. Why? Because this sample is 25 years old, more than actually, this came out in the late 90s, I believe. And so when we hear it up there, yeah, it sounds so fake, like a synthesizer. So it's the right question to ask. Like, is that even playable, right? So, all right, so let me catch up on the chat over here. Yeah, we got Pac-Man World 2 back in the house here. I recently purchased the original Pac-Man World 2 on PS2. David, in fact, I got a large collection from the OG trilogy to the spin-offs to the... That's great. Good for you, man. And yes, it feels good to revisit my childhood, especially the soundtrack. I love the Repack soundtrack. You know what's funny is I was listening to a little bit of it the other day, and I'm a little bit making my peace with it. I still don't think it is as good as the original, but you know, I've made peace with it, and I've made peace with kind of what the other composers added onto it. Like I said, made peace. I don't think it. They feel like they're sonically in two different worlds, but that's the beauty of music, right? Is that somebody can love something, somebody else might not like it. Yeah, and as you say, it doesn't replace the original. I agree with that. Where's the other guy today? Oh, right. Yeah. So for those that weren't here at the beginning, Bobby, he couldn't make it for today. So he'll be here next week. So, you know, it happens once in a while. Even one time I remember I couldn't even come, so we didn't do a stream. Logan, blasting out everyone's eardrums today. Yes, I certainly am. I certainly am. I'm curious what your thoughts are on how your soundtrack was handled. Yeah. You know, it's so funny. I actually have that right over here. Actually, I don't know if I want to rip it off the wall here. Let's see if you can. Oh, yeah, you can. So, yeah, this is the GameCube. And right there where my finger is, that is the GBA version of Pac-Man World 2. And as far as my thoughts on it, as I recall, I didn't get deep in, but as I recall, like, I think like even in the bare basics, I think they were using like Scuba Dooba, you know, like they were using like, yeah, music that was from a totally different, hang on a second here. I'm trying to remember exactly. It was, I just remember that the music wasn't in the right places. So like, yeah, I think it was, yeah, like either Scuba Dooba or Shark Attack. And it was like either in the first or the second level. So I was, yeah. Can anyone verify that? Yes, very compressed. Yes, everything was very compressed. Yeah. So, but that's I didn't really go deep into playing it on the Game Boy, right? Anyway, it's let's see, it's 8 o'clock already. All right, let's just continue on here and let's see if this is going to crash again, and let's get that switched over. All right, so we have our strings. Let's just go back and forth. Wow, those are a lot louder. So and these are not even at their unity gain. So they're supposed to be even louder, but let's do this. Let's save this. And did we check? I don't remember if we checked. I can't remember if we did not. Oh no, we did. Yes, we did this already. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we'll simply turn this down. Oh, I see why. Right. So what we're going to have to do then is we're going to have to put a utility volume on here. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just go into our our utility gain, and we'll just turn it down because we want to keep all this automation we wrote in here. So just get the name in there. Cool. And we'll go ahead and mute the sample cell version, and let's see what that sounds like. Better. Yeah, I tend to not listen to things on the stream just because I've gotten, like copyright warnings and things like that. And so like I already got the lawyers from Namco already issued a takedown notice because I published the original real Pac-Man World 2 soundtrack, and their lawyers told me to take it down. So I kind of want to be very careful. This little playing in spurts, and this is clearly fair use what I'm doing, right? It's clearly fair use, and it is what it is. So, but I'll take a listen to the Pro Thunder Skater. I'll check it out. Okay, but let's go on, shall we? So we're also going to look at the next set of strings, and it is the 13 sus strings, which is actually the same as this string. They're the same exact, they're exactly the same samples. So let's listen. Perfect. Maybe those are louder. No, they're good. Okay, perfect. So we can absolutely just mute those, and those are good. Let's save also, because we kept getting those weird. This is also exactly the same. This is the same string samples. So again, we should be fine. Of course, we'll just double check anyway. Now that's interesting. Oh, look at that. That's weird. Hold on. Look at that. I don't know why these are overlapping each other. That's so annoying, actually. All right, try again. Now, the weirdest thing is I chose, for whatever reason, to assign these to the low strings in Spitfire Colossus. I don't know why in the world I did that. I don't know why I did that, guys. Again, I'm not going to revise history here. Let's keep it pure. No? All right, so those are going to be good. And then just one more of the full strings. And again, it's exactly the same set of samples. So we can just duplicate this again and move this over here and take all these parts and do that. All right. We're in good shape for our strings. Very good shape indeed. So let's just go ahead and we'll take all of these guys over here. We'll just move them out just so we keep everything nice and clean and organized. All right, the other thing we'll do, a little housekeeping over here. And okay, these are all just strings full, strings full, strings full, strings full. All right. And actually, really what I should do, that would probably be a little better, is just use the original name. These are the Sidliacek, by the way. These are all the Sidliacek strings that I'm using here. All these sustained strings here are the Sidliacek. And I think he had, the disc came out on Sample Cell, also on K2500, which that's the version I owned, was the K2500. And it was just called Orchestra by Peter Sidliacek. And I think we have that spin in our spreadsheet somewhere. Yeah, it's very sad what they did, you know. It's very sad. Like really, it really broke my heart because I did it not to make money. Like what? I might make in 10 years, I might make $100. I did it for the fans because there was no like official version anywhere. So anyway, all good. So moving on, right. So we did the Celeste and the Glockenspiel were in very good condition. Remember the 3080, of course. We have the plug-in version of the 5080, which is the 3080 with basically more patches and a sampler as well. So warm pipe. Right. So that's literally exactly the original sound that was used. Okay, so then we have the harpsichord. I love the harpsichord part. Let's put a little reverb on that, shall we? Hey, Kiwi, thank you for stopping by, man. Really, thank you. And yeah, rest your back, and I hope you you feel better. That is, yes, that is the McGill. I'm pretty sure it's the McGill. Harpsichord 8. Let's double check. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the McGill. And again, oh, where is the McGill? It should be here in my... I don't know where it is. Let me go to I have a server here in the house, and I have this whole thing here just called sounds. And this is like the archive of basically everything. All my original Akai, my original K2500 stuff, all my sample cell banks. Yeah, a lot of stuff in here. What I'm looking for is ROMs and ROM archives. And we're looking at disk images, and maybe it's in the sample cell. Look at that, it's not in there. I know for a fact I bought it for sample cell, and now I can't find the sample cell version. Okay, it's probably though in the Akai. Oh, right, these are ISOs, right? Which is why I did Akai to EXS. Okay, so we should be able to find it. Hopefully, we hope. Look at that. Oh, there it is. McGill Classical Sounds. Wonderful. And we're looking for the harpsichord. And the harpsichord 8 foot. There it is. 8 foot. Beautiful. Yes. Now it's a slightly different naming convention because it was for the Akai. And the original I took from the sample cell, which is why it just is harpsichord 8. But yes, this is from McGill. Again, we're just taking a moment to fact check and verify. I'm going to try and hold myself to a higher standard, because you know what, I tend to just be like, yeah, whatever, because I like to stay on focus because I get distracted so easily. Okay, so we have a little reverb on there. Let's just go ahead and we'll add that. And also let's just save. And we'll go ahead and fire up Contact here. And we'll go into the Contact version. I'm completely abandoning Logic Sampler, by the way. It's an awful sampler. I absolutely can tell you it has been neglected. It is an old sampler. It's like 30-year-old sampler already, and it hasn't changed much in the 30 years. And it is so problematic. Like, it literally is just unbelievably problematic. So I'm just switching away. And this is a modern and professional, amazing sampler, Contact. And there it is, harpsichord 8. So like we always do, we're just going to double check that it sounds correct. Okay, which it doesn't. So the volume is all the way down. So let's turn it at unity gain. Let's also double check that this is set to 70%, which it's not. We're going to remove this as like a LFO. I don't know. Sometimes it added them on and made weird sounds. Anyway, all right. So this is all good. We're going to go ahead and save all that information. This feels a little tighter, doesn't it? So let's shorten the release. Better. Yeah, we need that really tight rhythmic sound, right? So, all right, excellent. All right, these are the little details. Now let's listen to the volume. This is clearly louder. So we'll just jack that up a bit. Excellent. We'll go ahead and mute that one up there, and we'll move this out down there to the basement. Alrighty, and finally, we're getting into the moment we've all been waiting for. I really don't remember the situation with the accordion, but the accordion is doing this. So the bass and the accordion are doing what the harpsichord is doing. So it's all one texture to get this oompa oompa. So I'm not so worried. And I think in the end, what I did, because I really didn't know, I used 2 different accordions. Okay, and let's get them both online here. And let's also save. Now every time I open Contact, I'm scared because of this weird crashing thing that keeps happening. It's so weird. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead into our Pac-Man World 2. We're going to go to Keys and Harp, and there they both are. We have accordion 1, and we have accordion LH. LH means left hand, by the way, just for anyone. Look at that. Again, yeah. This is something in the Pac-Man World 2 library. Whenever I duplicate, it seems to do this crashing every time I duplicate. Really weird. So well, I did use the harpsichord in the one of the maze segments. Yeah. Ghostly Garden, am I right? I don't know what you're referring to there, but so I can't confirm if you're right or not. Give me the context of that question, Nick, and then hopefully I can answer it. Harpsichord, definitely remember that one from World 1 Graveyard Theme a lot. Yeah, I don't know anything about World 1. but I take your word for it. Anyway, while this is loading, which is taking unusually long, if we go to the original Pac-Man World 2, we go to the original, and for example, arcade mazes, I think. It's a synth harpsichord, right? I knew there was some harpsichord in there. That's so much fun, no? So much fun. Love it. Okay, regardless, let's go over here and find that Pac-Man World 2, keys and harp. And let's go ahead and find that left hand. There we go. So, and then we'll also just grab this and label it left hand. And then this is just accordion 1. And I guess then we can, which one is which? We have to find out. That's accordion 1. So that we put there. And then this has to be the left hand. It is. So let's check that one first. Wow. This sounds way better though, this version. I like how this sounds a lot better, in fact, but let's get the levels correct. Very good. All right, we'll go ahead. Like there's this weird thumping thing in there. It's so weird. Anyway, this translation is much better than the original, I gotta say. All right, let's look at accordion 1. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Excellent. So we have our accordion. We have all our keyboard instruments are done. The bass, I don't remember which original bass I used, but I know it was just a basic. It might have been the Bob Clearmountain bass. I think it was. Or no, it could have been the not Jaco Pastorius, John Patitucci, could have been the 6-string. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. It's a warm bass tone, and we have that, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah. Dal, the bass is, I don't know what you mean, Spin. The bass is the UI. I don't know what that is. Can you spell it out for me, Spin? It's the upright? Really? You know that. Dude, I never doubt you. I never doubt you. So let's get that in play. I'm telling you, man, Spin knows better than I know what was used. I'm telling you, man, he knows. I'm not even going to check. If he says it, it's gospel. It's true. He's always right about these things. So let's go then to guitar and bass. And there's the John Patitucci acoustic bass. Wonderful. All right. Thanks for that, man. Thank you. We'll go ahead and do that. I'll just mute this old one. Also, we'll give it a nicer icon. This like upright bass icon here. And let's see level wise though, if we're good here. So yeah, we need a little more. All right, thank you for that, Spin. Spin's always there, man. All right, so let's see. The John Patitucci acoustic. John Patitucci is probably the greatest living bass player, and certainly the greatest living upright bass player. He is. Like, I can't think of anybody better than him. Okay, so the final frontier, I suppose, is drums. So let's go. And by the way, I'm going to guess here, this loop. Oh dear. It's either going to be from LA Riots or possibly, more likely, the not Ecstatic Goldmine. It was the other series. Oh gosh, what are they called? How can I forget the name? The it could also be the 1650 XL, or the other one. Why can't I remember what they're called? Guys, my memory is like, seriously, like, it's really a problem. Okay, you know what else I can do? That would probably be the smartest thing I could do. Let's just copy this. We're going to go, I don't think it was XL1. I don't think. I believe you. I trust you. But I somehow feel like this is from this other series that I used a lot back in the day. But the good news is we should be able to track it down. Yeah, not every one of the loops came from XL1. A lot of them did, though. Yeah. Gosh, what was the name of that series? I can't believe this, man. Like, my memory is just not what it once was. But I'll tell you in a minute what it was. Oh, I think it was called D Mega. D Mega, I believe. Yeah, Dance Mega. I think it was from the Dance Mega. Could have been. Could have been. Let's see here. Let's look at the 100 BPMs. 100. No, because it's loop 117B. So it's definitely not going to be this. You see, with XL1, and then there was this other series, XXL, these ones, the XXL series. And so these, I think it was these, maybe. So let's look. Number 7, yeah? 6, 7. All right. And this is 17. Oh, 17. Never mind. No. Struck out again, man. So, yeah, man. You're probably right. And not that I doubt you at all, but you know why I archived all the XL1 loops that I used. And like, in other words, anytime I used one, I would always archive it and name it, very faithfully, in fact. And here's the point. It literally can't find it. I'm going to try again searching because, again, we want to be accurate, right? I'm going to go here to samples 5, which contains my old library. And I'm also going to search on samples 1, which also contains a different version. Yeah, literally cannot find any of these. So you know what? I don't think it was XL1. I'm very sure of it. And can I tell you why I'm so sure? Because anytime I used the stuff from XL1, I would always give it like a unique character, like either a plus or a dot or see you later, Playboy. That's why I'm almost positive that it's not that. Old basics. Old. No. So loops, classics and faves. Yeah. And it's not even in there either. Look at that. Huh? We got to track it down. Now I really want to know where it came from. Not because it's so important to me. It's just about part of like what we're trying to accomplish, right? Is to bring it all back. Yeah. So look at this. So spin, if you want, take a screenshot. You see this asterisk plus? Anytime I used XL1, it would either have a plus or an asterisk plus. That's why I'm pretty confident that it's not from XL1. Now, it could have been that I took it from XL1 at a later time and didn't name it that way. I don't know. And by the way, this is a very, very, very good example of how to take a drum beat that some other drummer played and then add your own little spices inside. All these things you see in here are my additions. Yeah, the stuff in turquoise and blue. And if you look, I mean, that's a 16 bar loop. I literally made it a 16 bar loop, you know, and that's innovation, you know. Anyway, just a little tip for anybody who's, you know, doing this. If you can't find out right now, I can try finding it on my own. Yeah. I mean, look, here's the name that you're looking for, that you're trying to track down. Loop 117B. Small gem. Yes, it is, JT. Never, ever, ever take a drum loop without adding your humanity onto the drum loop, because then you're basically just using someone else's idea. So you can even see here, I'm changing the order, the way it went, and then I've made a 16 bar loop. Don't do 4 bar loops. Don't even do 8 bar loops. Do 16 bars. That's what I did here. So tell you what, why don't we do one of these kind of nuggets? Should we do this now? Yeah, maybe we'll do this now. I'll talk about sort of beginner level using a loop and a more musical way. So what we'll do here, in fact, we'll try to get this loop as it was originally. So this would have gone here, and I think this is probably what the loop was in its origin condition. Let's just see here. Let me get these lined up just so I can talk about this for a minute. Okay, so I think this would be the original. All right. Now, originally, okay, this is at 152 BPM. So originally, this would have been more like, probably like around 100 BPM, I would assume. Yeah. Oh, it's exactly 100. I said it would have been about, it was exactly 100 BPM. All right, so I'm going to do like a little content thing. Sort of like a little nugget, a little nugget of information here. So let's do this. Okay, let's look at a loop here. So what I'd like to talk about, and just gonna quickly, this is around 1 hour and 35 minutes. I'm just gonna let Woody know because I know he'll be interested in this. So 1 hour 35. So, and the other thing here, I'm just going to do so that I can also just, kind of keep everything kind of in a nice way, let's just say. All right. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about, kind of beginner level loop and more advanced level. Beginner level is just taking the loop exactly as it was originally recorded and playing it over and over again, 1-bar loop. Now, is there anything wrong with doing that in your production? Not at all. Perfectly fine. What I did in this particular composition is I had the tempo at 150. So I'm increasing the tempo by 50 BPM, which still is not the solution here. The solution is make a 16-bar loop so that literally over a period of 16 bars, you literally are going to have, and if you just look at this kind of as a digital thing, you'll see that it never repeats. There's always something slightly different. Okay. And let's just go ahead and we'll zoom in a little bit so you can kind of follow along. So here we go. Okay, and that is a more interesting way of using, a pre-recorded drum loop. Do something so that it becomes your own. Always add your own musicality. Always add your own element that makes it more personalized, right? So that would be my advice to everybody who's trying to do this. And on any level professionally. All right, let's get back to this stream now. I think that was a good one. What I just did there, that was a good one. And thank you, JT, by the way, for saying, what did you say? You said small gem delivered, right? So I took that as an opportunity to make a little bit of a, tutorial that I can put up, because later, if you guys want, to go back and be like, oh, what was that thing that Logan said about, using drum loops? I forgot. I wish I could find that. Well, if I post this up on my YouTube channel, you're going to be able to go back and find it. So that's the purpose. All right. Help, if it's helpful to you. All right, let's go ahead, and we're here in percussion loops. Look at that. It's missing. It's not there. Am I in the right place? Yeah, I am. Pac-Man World 2. And it's not there. So I'll for now just keep the version I have. And then everything else, all the other drums for the most part are the one-on-one South sample library that I did, which I got to make a custom wallpaper for that. That would be kind of interesting. And now what happened to this? Oh, right. So this, oh yeah, right. I think, right. I don't know what the original is. This is why I was trying to look at the old original version in Mac OS 9 to try to get an idea, because I honestly have no idea what that snare drum was originally. Percussion, kits and pieces, maybe. Snare's funky. I think I wound up using this because I used this a lot back in the day. And 100% this is from XL1. This snare drum 100%. It's one of the first snares I ever sampled from that library. So, all right. Well, look, I mean, we've put an hour and a half into this, man, and that's a long time. So I think we're probably good for now. We can probably wrap things up. Yeah, I really got to figure out what's what here because I honestly don't know. Um, yeah, wow. All right. Well, like I said, I think this is probably a good a place to say goodnight as any place. Guys, thank you all so much. It's really nice to be talking about Pac-Man again, and I'm going to do it more often. And don't forget, I should put in brackets, parentheses, not the repack, although I did actually. But what I meant was not the additional tracks on the repack. I didn't write those. Thank you, Soshi, Soshi the Yoshi, and straight back at you, man. You know, I love doing this. You guys are all amazing, and I appreciate all of you. And I'll do my best to stay cool because it's definitely getting hot in Italy. Holy cow. Yeah, man. I'm so glad to have you guys here. And like I said, I'm gonna do more every week. I think I want to do a little bit on Pac-Man World 2 and answer your questions and just talk about it. Have you guys, you know, I mean, that's why we started doing this stream in the first place. Well, the original stream, which happened when COVID happened, was just sort of a general music and general composing. But I rebooted it specifically. I don't even remember how this happened. Gosh, does anybody remember how this happened? How I started doing this again? I don't remember. Guys, you don't understand my memory. Oh my goodness. You don't understand. My memory is so bad. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much. I really appreciate you. Does anybody have any sort of final questions before I let you go? I'll wait because I know there's like a little bit of a delay that happens. Anyway, I appreciate all of you. I also am I'm very grateful for a lot of things in my life. You know that? And one of the things I'm grateful for is that I was able to make a life in music. You know, I never had a day job my whole life. I never had never. You know, the teaching positions I've taken. I mean, every great composer, not that I'm a great composer, but like Mozart, Beethoven, Haydn, they all took students. They all taught. And so I don't see that as out of the norm. But, you know, the majority of my income is from composing, not from teaching. Yeah, we can use the Discord more for sure if you guys want. Thank you, Jasmine. I appreciate all of you guys. But I am grateful that I was able to make a life in music and that there's a great group of people like you guys that take interest in this music that happened 25 years ago. And I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you all for coming. I really do appreciate it. And yeah. So, oh, and you know what? Pac-Man World 2. Duh. Of course that's how. Yes, repack. That's probably correct. So what was I going to say though? Oh man. Right. I totally missed the fact that it was Pac-Man's birthday last stream. And I feel like such a fuck up, I guess, for lack of a better word, that I missed that. And that the funny thing is I sort of glanced at it and I saw it in the stream and I was going to comment, but I guess I forgot, you know, my memory, I'm telling you, it's terrible. Yes. So, all right, enjoy your steak, JT, and everybody else. Thank you all so much. And like I always say, I think the purpose of life is to find some purpose in life. And I think the meaning of life is to find some meaning.